Sunday Ticket.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Just moments ago, prior to our national anthem, a moment of silence over the passing of Nelson Mandela, 95 years old, an inspiration to so many. Our thoughts and prayers to his many friends and family and those who he changed lives all over the world. Mike Smith, 54 years young, out of Daytona Beach, Florida, in his 6th season as Falcons head coach. They've been better than 500 5 years in a row. That will come to an end this year. They've been in the playoffs for the last 5 seasons as well. And for Mike McCarthy, he said it earlier this week, Brian, they need to win out to have any hope of trying to advance onto the playoffs for what would be for him 6 times in his 8 years and 6 times in the last 7 years.
You look at the schedule of those other teams in the NFC North. This is doable for them, but obviously they've got to have the win here at home against a 3-9 Atlanta Falcon team.
8 degrees, wind chill below 0. Winds right now around 8 miles per hour, but gusting anywhere to 15 to 20 throughout the afternoon. It is snowing. The frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. Packers won the toss, chose to defer to the second half. And Jaquiz Rodgers from the 5-yard line. Out across the 20 up to the 22-yard line. A little after 8 o'clock this morning, they have the field covered. Peters trying to keep everything warm and dry. But sooner or later, Brian, as David Strupp, who's celebrating a birthday today, our cameraman, was up underneath that tarp.
He just went in there to get warm. he didn't need a tape. He said, that's pretty warm in there. I want to go where those heaters are blowing.
So Matt Ryan on at quarterback, and this drive, the first of the game, starts from the 22-yard line. Little delay, hands it off to Steven Jackson, and he picks up maybe 2. Matt Ryan last week, boy, did he take a beating. They ended a 5-game losing streak. He was sacked 6 times in the game against Buffalo, hit 9 times. And you see his numbers against Green Bay.
Well, they always talk about his leadership ability, and it was tested this year, and everybody around him says he has risen to the challenge. He's been a true leader through a difficult situation.
Jackson once more, finally healthy again as Steven Jackson. Last couple of weeks has carried the ball almost 40 times after having that thigh injury in week 2 against Arizona.
Well, they got rookie Schrader, who's going to see a lot of action here on the backside. Patrick DeMarco, you're going to see a lot of 2-back with Atlanta, and Jaquiz Rodgers, obviously a balance to Steven Jackson. And what a joy it is to watch Tony Gonzalez, a future Hall of Famer, as he closes out his career.
37 years young as Gonzalez out of Torrance, California. 13-time Pro Bowler and one of the game's all-time great players. 3rd down and 5. And that's Roddy White, and he has enough for a first down, crossing the 33-yard line. White, another Falcon who's battled through injuries the entire year, had 20 receptions until last week. All season, he had 10 for 143 yards in their win over Buffalo last week.
And that's been the issue for Atlanta with everybody in and out of the lineup. Obviously, Julio Jones down for the year. Roddy White in and out for a bit. Tony Gonzalez has not played in every game.
Jackson tries to bounce it to the outside. Tramon Williams comes up to make the stop after a gain of almost 4.
Well, that Packers defense stopped the run up the middle. Ryan Pickett and A.J. Hawk. Clay Matthews is going to bring the pressure on the outside, and Tramon Williams may match up a lot today with Roddy White.
Defense 24th ranked overall in the NFL, 26th against the run. Neither one of these teams has done well trying to defend the run. Roddy White given enough room, makes his second catch, and both of them good enough for a first down up to the 45-yard line.
Well, everybody talks about, you deal with the cold. This is an Atlanta team that plays indoors. Matt Ryan played at BC. He grew up in Philadelphia, but he's been down in Atlanta for a while, Tom, and I don't know how that thins out the blood. I know you moved from the Midwest all the way out to Arizona. That kind of spoils you a little bit.
And then back to the cold.
Yeah, it's a transition.
Rodgers his first carry, and he's up to midfield. A gain of 4 on fourth down. What about coaching when it's this cold? Do you ever hear anybody talk about that? Any effect at all?
It is, and coaches will tell you, no, I'm focused on it, but I tell you what, particularly if you're calling the plays from the sideline, it affects you. It numbs the mind. I'm cold up here, and we got a little bit of protection. It does affect you in terms of your thought process. You're just trying to stay warm and get your job done at the same time.
Of course, Mike McCarthy is the play caller. And his team gets the football, but this is the opening drive of the game, and a good start for the Falcons. Roddy White for the third time, and for the third time, it is another first down reception to the Green Bay 42. You remember the coldest game you coached in?
Remember, I was in Minneapolis for 8 years. Obviously in Baltimore, going to a place like Pittsburgh.
Minneapolis, you're inside.
Yeah, but still, that means I was in Green Bay every year. But I tell you what, this is going to surprise you. San Diego, California. I was coaching in college at the first Holiday Bowl. I was dressed like you would in San Diego. That fog came in. It darn near killed me. Literally, I was freezing.
You're the first time it's ever used cold in San Diego in the same sentence. Rodgers his second carry and picks up 2, coming up to make the stop all the way from his strong safety position. Morgan Burnett having a solid year. He was in on all 81 defensive snaps on that Thanksgiving Day game against Detroit. Had 11 tackles. Recovered a couple of fumbles. One of them he ran in from a yard for a touchdown.
That was an amazing game. They forced 4 turnovers by the Detroit Lions and lost.
Jackson down to the 35-yard line. It'll bring up a third down and 2. Talk about Steven Jackson. Finally healthy in these last couple of weeks. Has run for better than 150 yards. He had a season high 84 last week and 2 rushing touchdowns in the overtime win over the Bills.
Well, when Atlanta has been at their best over the last couple of years, you remember they had Michael Turner, big physical back. He tailed off last year. They knew they needed to replace it. They got Steven Jackson. Hasn't quite gone as they'd liked.
Out of the I formation, play action. And Ryan looking towards the corner of the end zone, and it's incomplete. And an eye on the rookie Darius Johnson. So on 4th and 2, do you even think about going for it here? You're 3-9 on the year.
You know what? Given the elements, you would, because obviously if they're going to deteriorate as this field has a problem, looks like they're running on the punt team at this point. But you couldn't fault Mike Smith if he thought about going for it on 4th and 2, particularly since you've crossed the 50.
It appeared as though Mike was thinking about it for a little while. That punt team was slow to get out on the field, so now Matt Bosch should have punted away. The rookie Micah Hyde, who's run one back this year already for a touchdown, will call for a fair catch at the 10. So Matt Flynn hoping for a better outing today than his first start on Thanksgiving. He has the ball when we return.
Today is the day that business travel works for you. Today, you'll breeze through security and board early and earn double points on your flight. Today's the day that we make your business our business. Southwest Business Select Fares. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
This is the comfort of full-grain Napa leather. This is a fully equipped, crafted interior. This keeps you up to date with everything and everyone. This is 9 gears that give you 31 miles per gallon highway. This is the freedom to keep chasing all the horizons you want. Introducing the all-new 2014 Jeep Cherokee.
Well-qualified lessees can lease the all-new 2014 Jeep Cherokee Sport for $259 a month.
Get a Samsung Galaxy S4 for only $49.99 with 2-year activation.
We make the most popular mall Santa in Pittsburgh. We make thousands of things that are more than just things. NFLshop.com.
American Idol returns Wednesday, January 15th on Fox.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Green Bay with the football, and of course, they're still without that man, Aaron Rodgers. Look where they were. Winners of 5 of 7, sitting atop the NFC North. 15 touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers. Since then, they've used 3 other starting quarterbacks without a win in longer than a month and a half. Only 2 touchdowns against 7 interceptions. Flynn making his 2nd straight start. Hands it off to the rookie Eddie Lacy, and he gains 1 on first down.
Well, for the Packers, they've got their own rookie tackle playing, and David Bakhtiari. They too have a fullback in John Kuhn. We've seen it already. They're pounding away. And Jordy Nelson, James Jones, kind of the last 2-man standing of a deep wide receiver corps that's down to these 2 guys.
They're without Jermichael Finley. They're very talented tight end as well. Went down with a neck injury. It's nice to see him up and moving around. Flynn all day to throw. Now takes off running and slides down at the 15-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4. It brings up a 3rd down and 5. Atlanta defensively 26th overall, 30th against the run, 20th against the pass.
Well, they're all about finding out about these young players. These are all rookies with Goodman and Warlow in the front 7, and their first 2 picks in the draft, Trufant and Alfred in the back end.
Hey, rock.
4-man rush, and Flynn right on the button his first throw, and finds Jermichael Finley's fill-in, Andrew Quarless, who makes his 18th reception of the year.
Well, the Packers went to a no-huddle, a quick no-huddle on 3rd down, and they ended up just getting a flat route coming out here in the flat, kind of slipping out underneath the curl route. Either got picked off or a blown assignment, converted for the 3rd down.
A 15-yard gain back in the hands of this very talented rookie runner, Eddie Lacy. Despite missing nearly 2 full games, Lacy's 822 rushing yards, the most among all rookies in the NFL. In fact, he is 9th among all backs in the NFL with those rushing yards.
I tell you what, you sit this young man, he is cut. This guy has got some strength upon strength, and you can see it in his running style.
Back in his hands. Comes back the other way, a 1st down and then some, still on his feet, and there's some of that brawn you were talking about from Eddie Lacy.
Just a powerful runner. Just what you think in terms of the Green Bay Packers. You're going to see him cutting back through here. Once he has the cut off on the strong side, nice feet, and then watch him lower those shoulders and get another 4, 5, 6 yards after contact.
11-yard gain for Lacy. He'll get it again. And that'll be a gain of almost 5. We'll call it 4. 2nd down upcoming. First possession of the day for the Green Bay Packers, and we're better than midway through this opening quarter.
You know, a guy is strong, Tom, when he comes in, and I'm looking at this guy, and I'm going, well, how much do you lift, man? He goes, whatever they put on there. That's strong.
What's the way you were back in your days at BYU?
Whoa, boy, you're going back now.
45. 45 seconds.
Flynn sacked. Back at the 46-yard line. The pocket just completely collapsed around him.
Yeah, just the classic coverage sack. He's looking down the field, and it just slowly starts to shrink around him. He's got no place to go. The no huddle, I tell you what, Mike McCarthy used to coach for Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons. The thing he talked about was how creative Mike Nolan is. This is his way of calming down some of those multiple looks of the Atlanta Falcons.
Third down and 9. Flynn, good protection this time, now has to run out of it. And he will be denied a first down up to the 49-yard line. A couple of times he's dropped back. He's had some time to throw, but just can't find an open receiver.
That time we talk about the multiple looks.
Pass, illegal contact, number 55 defense. Wow. Penalty, automatic first down.
How about that? The rookie out of Delaware, Paul Warlow.
Right in here, boy, this is such a huge error. You get a team off on the road on third down, and at the very least, he didn't need to do that. He wraps up on Jordy Nelson, not knowing where the ball is.
The 5-yard penalty reinforced from the end of the run.
Warlow almost 80 tackles in his last 5 games. He has joined Jesse Tuggle this year as the only 2 Falcons in history to have 15 or more tackles at least twice in a season, but a big mistake right there on a drive that should have been over.
45.
James Starks down to the 41-yard line. Of course, Starks now in his 4th year out of Buffalo, had the great playoff game, Brian, you may remember, a number of years ago. And actually, when Lacy was hurt early in the year against Washington, he had a 132-yard game, but as has been the case the last couple of years, hurt again.
They've got a decent stable of backs. Throw in Khalil Bell, who's not up today. The Packers obviously had to address the running game and have done just that.
Catch made very close to a first down by Ryan Taylor. Only his 5th catch of this season. And depending on the spot, he may be just short. Maybe a half a yard short. And you saw right there, Matt Flynn says, all right, let's huddle up.
Yeah, that's a different call. Obviously, the no huddle continues to go. And this is simply on the outside. Got to know where the down markers are, but there's not much you can do here. This is good open field tackling on the part of Warlow. They rehuddle up to get a more orchestrated 3rd and inches call.
They've got Starks in the backfield rather than Lacy, an extra offensive lineman and tight end. And that is Starks for a first down. Those powerful legs take him down to the 31.
And they revert right back into the no huddle. This does surprise me a little bit because Mike McCarthy talked about maybe simplifying things for Matt Flynn, that he came in, maybe tried to do a little too much, but obviously he has his knowledge of this offense is kicked back in.
12th play of the drive. Lacy looking for a little bit of room, and boy, for a big man, he's able to squirt through a very small space and takes it down to the 26-yard line. That's a good first down run by Lacy.
Yeah, we talk about dealing with the cold, and the Packers are used to it. This kid went to Alabama. It was funny. He said, as long as my hands are warm, I'm okay. I said, really? Just your hands? That's all that needs to be warm? Yep, that's all I need is my hands.
In and out of the hands of Quarless. Hard to tell whether the defender, Brian, got a hand on it. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I think William Moore was able to adjust, and just right there, I don't know if he got a hand on it, but he certainly affected it as he got his hands on Quarless just as the ball got to him.
So a 3rd down and 6. And you see the Atlanta defense having a hard time getting off the field on 3rd down. Dead last in the NFL. Blitz coming. Green Bay picks it up. And a good throw, and that's James Jones for a first down just inside the 20. That's a well-thrown ball by Matt Flynn.
Just a simple out route. You're going to see Jones right here in the slot. Again, he knows where the chains are here. Gets that good depth in case he has to come back to catch the ball and makes it a first down. You know, remember now, last time we saw Matt Flynn in this stadium, he had 6 touchdown passes against the Detroit Lions to finish the game. 2 seasons ago.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Packers had 12 men break the huddle there.
Well, that come to no huddle. They're trying to keep up and put pressure on Atlanta and cross their wires a little bit about who was in and who was out.
Yeah, we were here that day. Of course, Matt Flynn was probably thinking about that day when he went into that Thanksgiving Day start against the same opponent, different venue, and didn't go quite as well.
Seemed like 2 lifetimes ago, actually 3 lifetimes ago, from going from obviously here to Seattle down to Oakland, now back in Green Bay.
First and 10 becomes first and 15. Flynn sets up the screen to Lacy. Inside the 20, inside the 15, and down inside the 10, and that's a first down for Eddie Lacy.
Nice job by the offensive line. You're going to see the center, Evan Dietrich Smith, kind of leak out late, just bowls over a linebacker and finds somebody else, and the strength after the catch that you see in Lacy. This guy is a complete back.
A 16-yard gain on that reception. It's first and goal from the 8-yard line. Lacy trying to slip a tackle and can't do it. Back to the line of scrimmage. Corey Peters there to wrap him up.
Talk about Lacy being a complete back, Tom, when we sat and visited with him again. Just a very engaging young man. Biggest thing he had to get used to was pass protection. Wasn't called on to do it a lot in Alabama. And I said, well, how did you learn so quickly? He said, because I messed it up a whole bunch in training camp, and you better learn. If you're going to play on this team, you got to be able to protect A-Rod, Aaron Rodgers.
Right now, it's Matt Flynn he's trying to protect on a second down and goal from the 7-yard line. And Flynn looking around, dumps it off to Lacy, sniffing the end zone. And did he get there? No signal given. Apparently, he is just shy.
Well, he was about the 4th or 5th guy in the progression here. You can see Matt Flynn scanning. Touchdown to check down. Not there, not there. All right, check down. Warlow does a nice job. He misses right there. Excuse me. Not quite sure. I think it was William Moore that came up and kept him out of the end zone.
Take a look at this drive, chewing up over 9 minutes. And the final play of the opening quarter is a touchdown for Eddie Lacy. And now the lead. With that touchdown, Eddie Lacy has tied the Packers' single-season rookie record for rushing touchdowns with the great John Brockington. And Thomas Deku is the injured Atlanta Falcon. So that's the end of the opening quarter. 7-0 or 6-0 Packers. Fox NFL Sunday continues in a moment.
And now my journey across the country's brought me to the lovely city of Boston. Cheers. And seeing as it's such a historic city, I'm sure they'll appreciate that Geico's been saving people money for over 75 years. Oh dear. I've dropped my tea into the Boston Harbor. I guess this party's over.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
On January 10th,
1, 2, 3.
meet Corporal George Chabowski, Fighting Machine.
I don't need your help! Your back's like memory foam!
Dear God. Get Enlisted. Premieres Friday, January 10th on Fox.
Guys!
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
You ever see something like this?
No, sir. This is gonna happen again. We got a rabid dog out there, and we gotta put him down.
You don't pick your parents and you don't pick your partner. You wonder if you're a bad man?
World needs bad men. We keep the other bad men from the door.
Just what is it you think we found?
Something deep and dark, detectives. Something deep and dark.
Fox tonight. Looking for the perfect holiday gift?
Fake IDs, passports, green cards.
How about an all-new animation domination?
Finally, something that makes me feel special. I mean, except for when I had those cow udders.
Tonight, you'll get 4 amazing shows.
Yeah, those are kind of all not very good.
It's the one gift that keeps on giving.
I buried all my whoopee cushions in the backyard.
And giving and giving.
That's not where I buried them.
All new Animation Domination starts tonight at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Thomas Deku on his way to the locker room. And this point after by Mason Crosby is good to make it a 7-0 Green Bay lead at the end of the opening quarter. We'll keep you posted if we receive any word on Deku.
And what would this pretty little girl like for Christmas?
I'm thinking the Ford Fusion.
Oh, the what?
I need a car that's stylish and fashionable, especially in my line of work.
Now, do you have a little lemonade stand?
Guys, I'm in fashion. But I also need amazing tech, too, like Active Park Assist. It practically parks itself.
And what color would you like?
I'll have my assistant send you over some swatches.
Oh.
Get a Fusion with 0% financing for 60 months plus $500 Ford Credit Holiday Bonus Cash during the Ford Dream Big sales event.
Honestly, I'm a little old-fashioned. I love chalk and erasers, but change is coming. All my students have the brand new Surface. It has the new Windows and comes with Office, has a real keyboard, so they can do real work. They can use Bing Smart Search to find anything in the world, or last night's assignment. And the battery lasts and lasts, so after school they can Skype, play games, and my favorite, do homework. Change is looking pretty good after all.
Do you know where your beer is brewed? With 12 breweries spread all across the United States, your next Budweiser is closer than you think. You might even say we're America's largest local brewer, meaning that Bud in your hand is all but guaranteed to be one of the freshest beers at the bar. Discover everything it takes to make your beer a Budweiser at trackyourbud.com.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Domino's. Oh, yes, we did. By the new Windows. One experience for everything in your life. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
A very impressive drive for the Green Bay Packers. And, Brian, I would imagine that is a huge confidence lift after the way things went for Green Bay on offense on Thanksgiving.
And the way they did it with no huddle and Matt Flynn orchestrating the no huddle, having this been just his 3rd start.
Ball blown off the tee. It is a frigid day here in Green Bay. You saw the thermometer there a moment ago. Reading right now 11 degrees, but that does not include the wind chill, which is well below 0. But I don't know if you can find an empty seat in this place.
That's amazing. These folks, I tell you what, it is a cold day. They've been out here all day long. Better than 78,000 with this new upper deck is incredible. It just adds an element. I was up there yesterday. That's a long way up there.
Rodgers from the 5-yard line out across the 20 and is wrapped up right there by M.D. Jennings. Now, if you're wondering how they keep this field so warm, this is underneath the stadium. It really is an amazing place.
It's like the innards of a nuclear submarine.
3 of the 12 boilers in that room specifically for the field. They heat water to temperatures of nearly 120 degrees. 4 pumps sending it from the boilers to pipes 12 inches below the field. That's why you saw some of the heat coming off of the grass. The system runs 24 hours a day during the winter. Jackson takes a pitch. And a big run across the 35, and Steven Jackson all the way up to the 44-yard line.
Well, they've been pounding away at the inside, so you kind of knew it was all of a sudden just going to show up outside of the bunch, pitch this thing to the outside. Nice job being walled off by the receivers and tight ends. And then Steven Jackson, the open field. This is a big man, like we said. 8 straight seasons of better than 1,000 yards. He's not going to get there this year necessarily. He barely has 400, but this is a big, powerful back.
We'll give it to him twice in a row, and a gain of 3 on first down. We invite you to join us. Fox UFC Saturday returns next weekend. Demetrius Johnson defends his World Flyweight Championship against Joseph Benavidez. That's live on Fox. Coverage begins Saturday, 8 Eastern, only on Fox.
They ought to do one of those outside like this.
Be good.
Now that would be worth the price of admission.
Those are real men. They're outside fighting in this kind of way. Of course, you might recommend they do that in San Diego. There's DeMarco out of the backfield. And he's close to a first down. Let's check in along the frigid sideline with Laura Oakman.
Tom, you guys are talking about and showing how they heat this field, which we of course know. But one of the things that it does, it's good in terms of making sure that this field doesn't freeze over. But the players also complain that it really softens it. Tony Gonzalez came out pregame and said it's horrible weather-wise and horrible field condition-wise. But he said, I don't want to complain. I finally get to check off playing on the frozen tundra in the snow before I retire.
How about that? Great stuff, Laura. Thank you. 3rd down and 2. And they give it to Jackson, and he has more than enough for a first down to the 43-yard line. Tony Gonzalez leading the way.
Well, it's kind of as advertised because these teams are pounding away in the run. Of course, Green Bay ran it 11 times in that 18-play drive, that scoring drive. And here Atlanta's already got up to 9 carries here in just the first quarter.
And when's the last time you would be able to say that when Green Bay plays Atlanta? 2 teams that have relied upon outstanding quarterback play from Rodgers and Ryan. There's a slant and the catch made down to the 35-yard line by Roddy White. Laura, you have some injury updates for us.
A couple in terms of the Falcons defense. We saw Thomas Deku go into the locker room, not a surprise. They're evaluating him for a head injury. Also, Sean Weatherspoon is questionable with a shoulder injury. They've been examining his shoulder on the sideline. His return is questionable. Losing him yet again would be a huge loss for this defense.
Well, he missed 7 games already this year. This is his 4th game back. He's been bothered with a bad knee. Rodgers, and that doesn't fool anybody. He lost a couple of yards. It'll bring up 3rd down, and we'll call it 3.
They were looking forward to having Weatherspoon back with this young defense that's in there now. You want a good look at him, but you like that veteran presence as well with the young backers like Warloo and Bartu. Give him kind of a veteran mix in there. This is a young defense. I'm talking about Atlanta's when they get back on the field that's going to continue to be tested after that first drive.
Four-man rush. Ryan, great protection, and lays it in there across the middle and inside the 10. It's Drew Davis, and he will get to the end zone. Davis, his 2nd touchdown reception of the year, and they're a point after away from tying it up.
Great protection by the offensive line here, giving him all the time he needed. I'm talking about Matt Ryan here, and he's just going to come out of this little mini bunch look. This took a while to develop. He chips a little bit, chips, releases, works to the inside. That's a long time for Matt Ryan to hold on to the ball, and it's what made that play.
And of course, he chipped their main pass rusher in Clay Matthews there. Matt Bryant ties the game at 7. Drew Davis, he wouldn't think about the Lambeau leap, would he, Brian?
Not. He'd live to regret it. And he goes, no. No, I don't see the Atlanta jerseys up there.
If you've got your crew in Miller Lite, you've got Miller time.
Hey, can we get a round of Miller Lite?
Sorry, just ran out. Something else?
Come on, really?
But what if one of your crew is Chuck Liddell?
Hello? We don't have a reservation.
Right this way.
Welcome.
Welcome. Sure wish we could play.
Here you go. There. Thank you. Thanks. We'd like to use flash photography.
That's not a problem.
We'd like to ride a dolphin. We'd love to stay closer.
It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
We have 4 hours to find your dad a gift, and he's got to have the best, so we need to stay focused. James, you're my rock. Can you keep it together? Sally, look at me. I need you to step it up, okay? We don't want the petting zoo all over again.
I can't make any promises.
Wow. I never doubted you guys for a second.
AT&T makes you the hero this holiday season with iPhone 5S for $0 down with AT&T Next.
Now get 50% off any Domino's pizza when you order online. 50% off sausage pizzas, specialty pizzas, even barbecue banana pepper pizzas. If you're into that, this week only get 50% off the menu price of 34 million pizza combinations at Domino's.com.
Why do we love football? Thousands of people have shared their stories for a chance to win the trip of a lifetime to Super Bowl 48. NFL Films is proud to present 10 finalists. Now it's up to you to choose the winners. Watch their stories, vote for your favorite, and help make a dream come true. Vote now at togetherwemakefootball.com.
You're in good hands with Almost Human, only tomorrow on Fox.
So after the 18-play, 90-yard drive, a touchdown drive for Green Bay, Atlanta answers right back to tie it up.
How many times do we talk about a team being able to respond to adversity, respond to a score with your own 78-yard drive in these conditions? Very impressive by Atlanta.
Matt Bosher, an announcer that will be handled by Hyde from the 8-yard line. And he's up to the 23. So we've seen a real Lambeau leap, and then the head fake Lambeau leap.
Before they earned enough cash back from Bank of America to help spread some holiday cheer. Before earning 1% cash back everywhere, every time, and 2% back at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Even before they got 3% back on gas with no hoops to jump through. A couple was inspired to use their Bank AmeriCard Cash Rewards credit card to throw the ultimate ugly sweater party of the season. That's the spirit of rewarding connections. Apply online or at a Bank of America near you.
And what would this pretty little girl like for Christmas?
I'm thinking the Ford Fusion.
Oh. The what?
I need a car that's stylish and fashionable, especially in my line of work.
Now, do you have a little lemonade stand?
Guys, I'm in fashion. But I also need amazing tech, too, like active park assist. It practically parks itself.
And what color would you like?
I'll have my assistant send you over some swatches.
Oh.
Get a Fusion with 0% financing for 60 months plus $500 Ford Credit Holiday Bonus Cash during the Ford Dream Big sales event.
Be precise. Be powerful. Matt Kenseth and his Citizen Echo Drive, fueled by light, any light, a watch that never needs a battery. Citizen, be unstoppable.
Whoa. Go time.
Today's game is sponsored by Ford. Only Ford gives you EcoBoost fuel economy and a whole lot more.
Welcome back to Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Those guys came ready.
You better come ready, and you develop a healthy respect for the elements in this part of the world, or you don't last very long.
7-7 game, a little more than 4 minutes into the second quarter, and sack is Flynn. The ball is loose, and the Falcons have recovered it. William Moore blasting Matt Flynn from behind.
I tell you what, Matt Flynn did not realize it was coming from the blind side. We talked about Mike Nolan dialing up a lot of different looks. Brought William Moore off the backside. You're going to see it right on the top of the screen. I don't think Matt Flynn was aware that he was coming unblocked.
Malachi Goodman, the first one there to dive on top of it.
You can see Eddie Lacy was trying to get to the backside. We had a rule: abandon the fake if it at all is going to compromise your ability to protect. They wanted a little play fake, but once he saw William Moore on the line, he should have forgotten the play fake and gone right back to William Moore.
So just like that, back on the field, Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons offense. After the turnover by Flynn, and Jackson dropped behind the line of scrimmage on first down, and that's A.J. Hawk, their leading tackler, and he's only 20 tackles away from becoming the Green Bay Packers all-time leading tackler. Boy, that's saying something.
And it was interesting. A.J. Hawk talked about he's getting at the stage in his career where he needs to slim down a little bit, and that's a good move. Remember, Ray Lewis went on a juicing diet the latter part of his career because you just can't carry the same weight at this age.
Jason Snelling checks into the Falcons backfield, and he has the ball off his fingertips, and he brought it back in. It looked like Brad Jones had a chance to take it away momentarily. Snelling stayed with it. That's a nice catch.
Yeah, I thought he had lost the ball. Snelling has good hands. We've seen them use him in a lot of different ways, even flank him out in a receiver position. This is a nice, big, little play because this had right now Jones is thinking, I'm getting me a turnover, and Snelling pulled it right back in.
3rd down and 9. That'll be a first down reception inside the 2-yard line made by Roddy White. Oh, to have Roddy White healthy again if you're Matt Ryan.
Oh, just the go-to guy. And again, under these elements, Roddy White, people don't realize how big a physical receiver he is. Just a stop route, against Shields. Excellent timing between Roddy White and Matt Ryan. That thing was out of Ryan's hands before Roddy White had even turned to look for the ball.
1st and goal from just outside the 2-yard line of the I formation. They fake it to Jackson, and the touchdown reception to Tony Gonzalez. And the Falcons have their first lead of the afternoon. They take advantage of the takeaway. And Tony Gonzalez keeping that football. Normally he goes up and dunks that thing.
Well, he's holding on to everything. They motioned away. He's on the end here and just isolate him one-on-one. A little bit of a slam release and then out into the flat. Morgan Burnett was reading run all the way. It was too late to jump on Tony Gonzalez once he had released.
Point after now by Matt Bryant out of the hold of Matt Bosher, and it is good. It started with William Moore putting the big hit on Matt Flynn. Recovered by Atlanta, and after the big 3rd down catch by White, they find Gonzalez, a 7-point Falcons lead.
You know, this hybrid has a better fuel economy rating than the Prius V.
Really? Oh, great gas mileage, and it looks good.
Yeah, it's so much better than choosing good looks or great gas mileage.
It'd be like somebody being large or in charge.
And there are 3 ways to do this. My way, my way, my way. Do I make myself clear?
I like and better.
Yeah.
And is better. The 2014 Fusion Hybrid. Ford gives you hybrid fuel economy and a lot more. Go further.
This holiday, check the halls and bring in the savings with our Radio Shack Price Match Guarantee.
Get great deals on the best brands at Radio Shack.
We make you easy to find. We make matching permissible. We make the most popular mall Santa in Pittsburgh. We make your favorite layer. We make it worth being good for 364 days. We make changing your last name one thing, but your team another. We make thousands of things that are more than just things. NFLshop.com. Get a special discount plus free shipping.
We must find out what became of my son. Your life will be in danger. You owe me the truth. What happened to my child?
I warned you not to tempt fate.
All new Sleepy Hollow, tomorrow at 9/8 Central on Fox.
208th consecutive game with a reception for Tony Gonzalez. This one a touchdown. The last time he played in an NFL game without a catch with Kansas City on the 26th of November, the year 2000.
I love the fact that we get to watch a big guaranteed Hall of Famer still at his best in these circumstances.
Good return by the rookie Micah Hyde, and it's good field position for Green Bay.
Super Bowl 48 is coming, and Bud Light is throwing you quite a show.
We'll run the spread, I'll throw the ball, we'll bring our blitz, I'll change the call, and we will be the team to win it all.
Not that kind of show. This kind of show. Use your FanZone app for your chance to unlock the ultimate VIP weekend. We're turning a luxury cruise liner into the Bud Light Hotel in New York City, where you'll party with celebrities, top music artists, and see Super Bowl 48. Download the FanZone app today. Bud Light, here we go.
This Friday, see the movie Time is Calling. One of the best films of the year.
Do not talk to me of Dragonfire.
An epic achievement by a master filmmaker. The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug. Midnight screenings Thursday, everywhere Friday. Rated PG-13.
Upon official mortgage review, Quicken Loans can save them over $200 per month.
Challenge us to save you money with the official mortgage review from Quicken Loans.
Super fight right here.
Fox UFC Saturday, live this week at 8 Eastern.
Today's game is sponsored by Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Same way on the other side.
Welcome back to Lambeau Field. We just saw Tony Gonzalez score a touchdown and take that football and keep it. He is keeping every one of those balls, but not for himself. He said you would not believe the requests he's had from friends, family, teammates, and opposing players asking for mementos, for football, for jerseys, for shoes. He said, I'm saving everything for everyone. I said, anything for yourself. He said, I have three things. My first catch, my 100th touchdown, and the ball where I set the record for most receptions from tight ends. Those are the only three things he's keeping. Tom, I said, anything else you want to make sure you do these remaining games? And he said, yes, enjoy every moment of it.
Indeed. Laura Oakman, thank you very much. 14-7. Atlanta in front. And Flynn comes out throwing, and that did not fool Atlanta defensively. That's a good play made by Desmond Trufant.
We have to be impressed with the Atlanta Falcons, the way they've responded. You know the Packers are used to teams coming in here and not handling the elements well. They know the Atlanta Falcons are here to play. That's got to shake them just a little bit.
Second down, and Jones on the reception. Trufant on the coverage. It'll bring up third down and 4. As we're under 8 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
And it's interesting that Green Bay goes in and out of the no huddle like most teams. They will huddle on third down. You want a more orchestrated call. If they're able to convert here, we'll see if they want to get back into the no huddle pace.
Both teams very good so far offensively on third down, converting 4 of 5. And this 3rd down and 4, it's Flynn. Steps up wide open and delivers to Jordy Nelson to the 38-yard line, and that's the first down. Throw a little bit high, but Nelson is almost 6 feet 4 inches tall. He'll go get it.
Well, if you're going to throw it high to someone, Jordy Nelson's the one to do it. This guy goes up the ball, all 6'3" of them. Kind of the go-to guy for the receiving corps from Matt Flynn right now.
What a hit. And yet Lacy still does not go down. How does one man hit another man that hard and he doesn't fall down? That was Zeke Mata who came up and put the hit on Lacy.
Well, the mistake here, it's way too high. This guy is too powerful, upper and lower body. You're going to need some help. And it's actually excellent form tackling by Mata.
Second down and 10. And they find Jordy Nelson, who tiptoes along the sideline, and he has a first down to the 25-yard line, and we tiptoe to Los Angeles and send it to Joel Klatt.
Well, how about Nick Foles, Tom? No one can stop Nick Foles except for the weather. His first interception of the season. 19 TDs he had thrown, now his first interception, and if he had just one more touchdown, he would have tied Peyton Manning for the best start to the season with 20 touchdowns and no interceptions. There's no score in that ball game, fellas.
Well, what a story Nick Foles has been indeed. First down, and is that a catch on the far sideline by Quarless? It is. Great coverage by Mata, but the big fella Andrew Quarless went up and got it.
This is a spectacular catch. He's got the guy all over his face mask with the presence of mind. Look at him work his feet, tippy-toe his feet, and maintain control through the process. Outstanding catch by the tight end Quarless.
Lacy tripped up by Warlow inside the 15 down to the 13, and that'll be another Packer first down.
And here in the red zone, they continue with the no huddle. A lot of teams will break that down once you get inside the 20 for a more orchestrated call. This shows a lot of faith in Matt Flynn with his knowledge of this offense.
No running that time. Lacy will bring up second down and 9 for the Packers, trying to tie it up. 5 minutes to play until halftime. Ninth play of the drive after the good return by Micah Hyde, and Flynn to throw it. Catch and run out of bounds at the 15-yard line is Ryan Taylor. Another excellent play by Mata, who's getting a lot of playing time here today after the injury to Thomas Deku.
Well, they've got 5 and 6 rookies on this defense for the Atlanta Falcons that are having to step up into starting roles.
Mata's been bothered by an injured hand and getting a chance to play. Playing well. Third down. Flynn in trouble and sacked all the way back to the 25-yard line. Warlow along with Corey Peters. And that turns this into a rather lengthy field goal try, especially in these conditions.
Well, we've seen it a couple times. No place to go. Good coverage down the field. Matt Flynn waiting for something to break open. Nothing there. You come back on the backside. Two-man combination. They're 3 over 2. Might have gotten the ball off a little early underneath, but did not see Boykin underneath by the time the sack had gotten home.
26 out of 30 on the year in field goals is Mason Crosby. This from 40 yards out. Brent Goode, Tim Mastey, and the kick is good by Mason Crosby. Good game here at Lambeau Field. Falcons in front, 14-10.
In the nation, sometimes bad things happen. But add brand new belongings from Nationwide Insurance and we won't just give you the partial value of items that are stolen or destroyed. We'll replace them with brand new versions so you won't feel robbed again. Just another way we put members first because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
What if you could give her diamonds in her favorite color? Diamonds that capture her look, her style, perfectly. Kay Jewelers presents the Artistry Diamonds Collection. Genuine diamonds in vivid blues, greens, blacks, yellows, and purples. The beauty of genuine diamonds in a palette of colors that express her perfectly. At Kay, the #1 jewelry store in America. Artistry Diamonds. They're diamonds of a different color.
Every kiss begins with K.
Well, I tell you what, I know that I want to hear from my wife and daughters that this is not a good look. I got that, but I don't care because it is cold and we got to do everything we can to stay warm up here. These two teams are staying warm. They look pretty good.
Been a good game. I mean, I know the first thing a lot of people say, Atlanta obviously not the kind of year we're used to seeing from the Falcons. Only 3 wins all year long, been in the playoffs for the last 5 years. Green Bay hanging on, but realizing how important this game is, and both are competing.
Well, I tell you, Green Bay now at 5-6-1, they're right there because you look at the schedule for Detroit and Chicago. It is not easy. Detroit's going to have its hands full today with Philadelphia. Chicago on Monday night with Dallas. So, you know, it may not sound like it at 5-6-1, but they really are right in the hunt.
Atlanta will get the football one more time here in this second quarter. 3:39 to play until halftime. And Rodgers from his own end zone. Tackled at the 21-yard line. So we'll see if Matt Ryan can go to work. All 3 timeouts remaining. 3:33 to play in the opening half.
Hey, why didn't you get me from the hospital?
Hey, Pumpkin Bear, something happened?
I sent you like 100 texts. Jerk.
Jerk? What? Oh, hey, they're coming in now, sweetie. Wait, you fell off your bike? You broke your arm. I'm gonna hunt you down, all caps.
2 years is too long to wait. Introducing Jump from T-Mobile. Upgrade when you want, not when you're told. Get the LG G2 for $0 down at participating T-Mobile stores now.
Yes, you did. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Did not.
Find some peace this holiday. Get an 8-piece meal, any recipe, with a dozen cookies baked in-restaurant. The KFC Festive Feast. That's a lot for just $19.99. Today tastes so good.
We make 60 minutes of play something to remember.
We make it fun for everyone. We make 60 minutes of play a day our top priority.
Hey, JJ, can I go long?
Go long. That's my move. Hop on the bus at NFLRush.com.
Danica Patrick and Trace Adkins host the American Country Awards Tuesday on Fox.
American Idol's looking for the next superstar. Join Jennifer Lopez, Keith Urban, Henry Connick Jr. along with Ryan Seacrest as they search for the best new talent. American Idol's most exciting season yet begins Wednesday, January 15th on Fox.
How about that?
Hey, we said the UFC guys should be in here. They should do American Idol in here. With the snow and everything.
Really
it'll add a whole new dimension to it.
Yeah. So American Idol, one of the categories would be ice fishing. Obviously, throwing the ball has not been a problem for either quarterback in this game. Only 2 incompleted passes by these 2 quarterbacks combined through nearly a half. And that should have been completed, as that one just goes right through the hands of Tony Gonzalez.
Well, Matt Ryan's had a good day in no small part because they're running the ball so well. There are a lot of open lanes. They're having to bring everybody to stop the run. A lot of one-on-one on that last one on the touchdown. Had lots of protection by his offensive line and a wide-open Tony Gonzalez after the play fake on the goal line.
So much has been made of all the hits that Matt Ryan has been taking these last couple of years, especially this year. Jackson breaks it to the outside, dragged down by Morgan Burnett, but not before he picks up 14 more yards up to the 35-yard line. And a good start today for Steven Jackson. 9 rushing attempts, 55 yards.
His biggest plays have been coming as he starts one side. The defense overflows, and he's been cutting it all the way across, back across the face of the defense.
Jackson might have been slowed down a lot of this year with that thigh injury, but he is running the ball well here these last couple of weeks. Ryan, good protection, and that one dropped by Jackson. You don't see Steven Jackson drop very many. Much has been made. We've talked a lot about all his rushing yards. He is also one dynamic receiver out of the backfield.
Brad Jones, you can see right here, he gets his hands underneath it. Oh, nope, it bounced. It bounced. Looked like he might have gotten underneath it. Remember, he thought he had one earlier that Jason Snelling snatched away. The ground took that one.
Second down and 10. We'll give it to Rodgers. He's up to the 37-yard line, and we check in once more from Los Angeles with Joel Klatt.
Well, it's not often that the weather elsewhere is worse than Green Bay. That's the case in Philadelphia, where Joique Bell goes in from 2 yards out, his 7th of the season. They didn't want to kick it, guys, so they go for 2. Stafford to Joique Bell. It's 8-0 Philadelphia. Back to Green Bay. Tom, Brian, and Laura.
Well, Joel, it all depends on the definition of worse weather. There's no doubt it is snowing in
you talk about weather.
Philadelphia. There's no way it is colder in Philadelphia.
And this guy right here, I met this guy earlier. It's hard to believe that guy weighs 145 pounds. That's what's called layers. Okay, up here you learn to put layers on. He's really a scrawny guy I saw earlier.
Boy, all of our crew, our cameramen and women, those working along the sideline, bundled up. Well below 0 wind chill. Barely above 0 in real temperature. 3rd down for Ryan. And it's incomplete. Nick Perry coming off the edge from his outside linebacker position was there to get him. So now the Packers, who have 2 timeouts remaining, along with that 2-minute warning, going to receive this punt from Matt Bosher with a chance to put some more points on the board before halftime.
Bay's looking like they're going to come after it. They're moving these guys around.
And Jarrett Bush sneaking along the.
Yep.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Well, Atlanta, with all of a sudden seeing that pressure off the edges, they're trying to make the call and then call the call off. They got caught trying to adjust to unexpected pressure on the punt team from the Green Bay Packers.
Well, I know we talked about it a lot, but every time you see a player, when they come off the field, they cannot get to an area close to those heaters that are blowing on the sideline fast enough. Great punt by Bosch. And a fair catch back to the 15 by Micah Hyde. 2:20 to play in the opening half.
Now that's a great picture, but it can be better. I wonder if I can tweak it.
I'm Amy, a tech advisor for your new Kindle Fire. You press the Mayday button?
I've got this photo on my Kindle Fire HDX. I want to make some changes, but what can I do?
It's easy. There's lots you can do. You can adjust the contrast of the photo with this tool and crop the image with this tool.
Oh, that's cool. So if I do this and this, that's a good-looking photo.
Very handsome.
Introducing the revolutionary Mayday button, only on the new Kindle Fire HDX.
This is the magical new iPad Air with Retina display.
And this is the new Kindle Fire with an HDX display. It has nearly 1 million more pixels than the iPad Air.
This new iPad Air is astonishingly light.
The new Kindle Fire is actually 20% lighter.
Yes, but the iPad is only $4.99.
The Kindle's only $3.79.
I see.
The new Kindle Fire HDX. Sharper, lighter for less.
See why critics say you're in good hands with Almost Human.
That's fascinating.
The show is...
Wait for it.
Awesome.
Thanks, man. You're welcome, my friend.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Almost Human, all new tomorrow at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
Greg Kinnear is coming to Fox in Rake, premiering Thursday, January 23rd.
Well, Micah Hyde might have rethought this. The Gunners and the separation of the coverage team may be in better conditions. He might have thought about taking off on this thing, and I think he realized it's a missed opportunity right there. Yep, he's going, I should have taken this thing, because now when he looks and sees where everybody was, he realizes he could have done some damage.
So the 15-yard line is where this drive begins. And Flynn on first down, and in and out of the hands of Jarrett Boykin. Boykin, a college free agent a year ago, signed by Jacksonville. They kept him all of 4 days. Green Bay brought him in. He wound up playing in 10 games, 5 catches a year ago. But with all the injuries this year, put together a pretty nice season. 34 catches, 513 yards. Quarless, a tight end, up to the 22-yard line and brings up third down, and this will take us down to the 2-minute warning. Green Bay 2 timeouts remaining. Atlanta 14, the Packers 10. You're watching the NFL on Fox.
Today's game is sponsored by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Visa, turning football fantasies into reality.
Yeah, nice catch.
That's put a little heat on it.
All right, I'll pull a little something on it.
Want to win your own football fantasy? Just tell us. Then use your Visa card for a chance to win it.
Be precise. Be powerful. Victoria Azarenka and her Citizen Echo Drive. Fueled by light, any light. A watch that never needs a battery. Citizen, be unstoppable.
And what would this pretty little girl like for Christmas?
I'm thinking the Ford Fusion.
Oh. The what?
I need a car that's stylish and fashionable, especially in my line of work.
Now, do you have a little lemonade stand?
Guys, I'm in fashion. But I also need amazing tech, too, like Active Park Assist. It practically parks itself.
And what color would you like?
I'll have my assistant send you over some swatches.
Oh.
Get a Fusion with 0% financing for 60 months plus $500 Ford Credit Holiday Bonus Cash during the Ford Dream Big Sales event.
One show feels like Idol. Because only Idol makes stars.
Yes!
Yes! American Idol premieres Wednesday, January 15th on Fox.
Xbox One is changing the game in the living room for NFL fans and now brings you the game-changing play of the week. A touchdown from DeMarco Murray put the Cowboys up by 7 in the fourth quarter last week. But it was an interception by cornerback Brandon Carr, who jumped in front of receiver Jacoby Ford, that sealed the win over the Raiders. Experience the NFL in game-changing new ways with Xbox One, the official game console of the NFL, available now.
14-10, Atlanta in front. 2 minutes to play until halftime. A third down for the Packers from their own 21. 3rd and 3. It's third down and a very long 3. They need to get to the 25, and that's exactly where Boykin makes a catch, and he is level Let's send it back to a very important story to Joel Klatt in Los Angeles.
Yeah, Tom, the reigning MVP, Adrian Peterson. Scary moments from Minnesota. Adrian Peterson in the flat, writhing in pain on the sidelines, was taken away on a stretcher. We'll get more word to you when we get it.
Brandon Bostic with a big reception. And that will move the chains all the way up to the 45-yard line. Didn't see anybody call a timeout there, but the clock is stopped. He's able to get out of bounds, I beg your pardon, and now sliding is Flynn. So I would imagine the Packers use a timeout here. 1:24. And no, they're continuing to try to get everybody to the line of scrimmage.
Well, he wants to hold as many of those timeouts in his back pocket as he can, allowing those inside throws.
Well, they have burned a lot of time here. This is a good 25 seconds since Finn went sliding down the middle of the field, and complete good coverage by the rookie Warlow. Fox Sports Live coming up tonight, 11 Eastern. Jay and Dan will have all the highlights and reaction from Week 14 of the NFL. Everything going on with the BCS tonight on Fox Sports 1. Flynn, nothing but green in front of him, and he dives to the 35-yard line. The ground calls the fumble, it looked like, from up here, and he is down at the 35-yard line.
He's just diving for extra yardage. There's the contact there, and the ball comes out after he is down.
Clock continues to run. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Flynn out of the shotgun and nearly intercepted, or is it intercepted on a second tip ball, and racing down the sideline and still on his feet is Weatherspoon. He's inside the 5, and that is a touchdown. It looked like it was deflected rather, twice.
I can't tell if it came off the hand or the foot of Paul Warlow, excuse me. Looked like it was hitting the ground. They're going to have to take a look at this. Of course, they always do on change of possessions and scores. Right here, you see it tipped and right. Look, it kicked off of his foot, off of his right foot.
And it was deflected twice.
That just kicked up, they just popped it up like a setter in volleyball, spiking it up for Weatherspoon.
Right off the right foot. And into the arms of Weatherspoon, who was injured earlier. We wondered about his return, and he goes 71 yards for a touchdown. And now a point after away from an 11-point lead, and Weatherspoon is still down in the sideline. They're taking a look at him.
He's just telling Coach Smith, it's still cold. I know I ran all that way, but it's still cold. I don't have any breath left in me. What a turn of events. Nice drive by Green Bay to finish out the half. Scramble around by Matt Flynn. Ball comes out, but he was clearly down, and then to get a pick like that.
You know, Brian, after the big run and the slide, and they have 2 timeouts. It's not like they didn't have 1 timeout. I'm sure some are saying, hey, you know, we got close to the red zone. Do we consider maybe using one of those timeouts there?
But the tempo offense has been working for them. We said before that they're trying to calm down the multiple packages of defensive coordinator Mike Nolan. Mike McCarthy going to stay with what's hot. What's the term he used? He used an old farm term. You know, you got to scratch where you itch. Meaning do what works. You know, go with what works. Continue on with what you're doing. He was definitely scratching there because that no huddle has been working for them pretty good in this first half.
First career touchdown for Sean Weatherspoon. It has been a very tough year for him. Laura Oakman mentioned it earlier. First round pick back in 2010, has missed 7 games this season. His 4th game back.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a touch.
Even Bill Levy sounds tired. Or sounds cold, I beg your pardon.
He can't get those lips working.
Almost wonder if Warlow wasn't one of those hacky sack guys. You know, you'd see around maybe a college campus back in his days in Delaware. That's exactly what that looked like. Just pop that thing off the top of his foot right into the mitts of Weatherspoon, and it's a touchdown.
Well, to have the presence of mind to stick that foot out there, like it could do anything. You know, what are the odds there?
So now a point after attempt by Matt Bryant is good. 71-yard interception return for a touchdown off his teammate's foot.
Bounces up off Kuhn. Hits the foot of Warlow. Bounces right now. He's looking for somebody. Somebody please tackle me, because I don't want to just pass out between here and the goal line. Boy, quick sequence of events. He's thinking about pitching it right there.
The big TJ Lang trying to get down there. He whiffed. And Weatherspoon to the end zone. From Kuhn to Warlow to Weatherspoon to pay dirt.
What do you call that in baseball? That's a 1, 3, 2, 5, 6. Well, you always.
Oh, come on now.
I'm not a baseball guy.
Come on, 6,
do we,
4, 3,
okay.
5, 4,
should we
3.
start to number it there?
We could have done that.
Hey, shout out my dude. My team, Joe. Give me one up, baby.
He's excited. He's got his breath back.
That's a dangerous thing, because this guy likes to talk. He's an animated young man.
.23 seconds remain until halftime. Hyde from the goal line out across the 20 to the 25 and the 31-yard line. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee. Kurt, what's coming up on the Visa halftime?
Well, it may be snow at the game you're watching, but it's another sunny day here in Los Angeles. And coming up on the Visa halftime, the Colts and Bengals jockey for playoff positioning in the AFC, and the Chiefs go for win number 10. So, guys, you know what? Despite the fact it looks sunny, it's going to struggle to make 60 today.
You'll be out there later tonight, Brian. Be able to enjoy that warm weather out in Los Angeles.
Thank goodness, because the alternative is to go home where that snow was outside Philly. I'm going to be standing there next to Kurt.
Baltimore Ravens leading Minnesota. That's a big one today for the Ravens. It's only a 7-3 game, and a big story there, of course, the injury to Adrian Peterson. He set up a screen. It looked like Lacy may have tripped over his own teammate, Josh Sitton. First drive of the game for Green Bay, you may remember, was kept alive on a penalty by middle linebacker Paul Warlow. Drive that should have ended right around midfield. It turned into an 18-play, 90-yard touchdown drive. They've been very, very quiet outside of that. They had a little something going on their last drive before the interception. Flynn rolling and just throws it away. 4 seconds remain until halftime. And the crowd now starting to give it to him a little bit.
Well, it's not like there's a lot of options for Green Bay. I mean, Scott Tolzien obviously was not effective when Matt Flynn came in.
So what's coming up on that Visa halftime? Say another game in that AFC North being played today in Cincinnati. That is a huge game between the Bengals and the Indianapolis Colts.
Now you're talking about the 3rd and 4th seed.
You don't take anybody lightly, but that's the difference between playing Kansas City in the opening round and maybe a 500 team. Let's see, end of the first half. The Atlanta Falcons, a 3-win team with a 21-10 lead, and we now go to Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles. The Visa halftime begins right now.
Welcome to the Visa Halftime Report. What's your football fantasy?
And welcome to the Visa Halftime. Kurt Menefee along with Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. TB weathered in Oklahoma. Weathered the story of the day all around the NFL, including Reggie Bush slipping on the snow in pregame warm-ups in Philadelphia, so he didn't play. Nick Foles in the bad weather threw his first interception of the season. He had gone 19 touchdowns, 0 picks until that one picked off by the Lions, Chris Houston, and it set up a Drake Bell 2-yard touchdown run. Drake had fumbled twice before, got a 2-point conversion afterwards, and they lead it 8-0 to the Lions late in the first half in Philly. Meanwhile, Baltimore hosting Minnesota. Joe Flacco, this may be the scramble of the day. Snow certainly helping him out, gets away, finally gets down inside the 5-yard line. Flacco eventually threw it to Ed Dixon for a 1-yard touchdown. They led 7-0 when the news got worse for the Minnesota Vikings. Matt Castle hooks up with Adrian Peterson. Arthur Brown takes Peterson down, and then he stays down. Eventually carted off with what they're saying is a right ankle injury. And right now, news not looking good for him. The Ravens up 7-3 late in the first half. A battle of first-place teams in Cincinnati, the Colts and Bengals. Andy Dalton hooking up with Marvin Jones, 29-yard touchdown. Bengals on top of Indy, 14-0 the count in that one as they approach halftime in Cincy. Meanwhile, the Kansas City Chiefs, losers of 3 straight. I don't think that's going to hold up right now against Washington. Dexter McCluster takes the punt. Can you run this far, Michael?
Yes, I can,
right,
but just not as fast.
Trying to make sure TV doesn't feel lost. 74 yards, 31-0. Chiefs all over the Redskins right now. Meanwhile, New England struggled the first half each of the last 2 games. They're struggling today in the first half in Cleveland. Tom Brady picked off by DeQuell Jackson. The Browns have added a couple of field goals, and it's been that kind of day for the New England offense so far. Frustrated for Tom Brady and company. Right now, they're down 6-0 late in the second quarter. The Steelers hosting the Dolphins, thinking playoffs. Ben Roethlisberger hooks up with Emmanuel Sanders. 5-yard score. This touchdown, 213th of Roethlisberger's career, passes Terry Bradshaw, sorry, TB, for most in franchise history. Meanwhile, Ryan Tannehill and Charles Clay give the Dolphins a lead, 10-7. Right now is the score in that game in the snow in Pittsburgh late in the first half. Oakland at the Jets. How about Geno Smith? Hadn't thrown a touchdown pass since week 7. He's got 2 in the first half, including this one to Jeremy Curley, 25-yard touchdown. Jets on top of the Raiders, 10-0. Special teams helping out as well. Antonio Allen blocks the punt, recovers it in the end zone for a touchdown, 20-3 at halftime. Jets trying to end their 3-game losing streak. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay trying to get back to their winning ways against Buffalo. Bills stack the line, opening drive. Bobby Rainey makes them pay. Longest touchdown run in franchise history for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 80 yards on the score in that one. Tampa jumped out early, and they lead it right now. 17-3 is the count in the second quarter. All right, guys, Atlanta, Green Bay, Jimmy.
Well, Kurt, all the Green Bay fans are saying, we need Aaron Rodgers. We need Aaron Rodgers. Well, no. You need more than Aaron Rodgers. Now, obviously, Aaron Rodgers would have helped in this game today. Matt Flynn, sacked 3 times, an interception and a fumble, and it gave Atlanta some points. But the offensive line's not protecting Matt Flynn either. And I think the fans for Green Bay can say, well, Aaron Rodgers in there, he's got mobility, he can escape that rush a little bit. But, Atlanta, a dome team on the road, they're out of it. They're in the snow, and they get 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. Green Bay needs more than just Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and they need a running game. And right now, you would imagine in this weather, teams would run the heck out of the ball, put it into the quarterback's hands, especially a quarterback like Matt Flynn, who's coming in to fill in for somebody. But the turnovers have obviously been the key in this game.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers covers up for a lot of those mistakes in protection and wide receiver routes, et cetera. And if there was any question about how valuable Aaron Rodgers is in terms of the Green Bay Packers in the league, this tells the story over the last 6 weeks.
Absolutely, no question about that anymore. Green Bay, one of the few places where the snow isn't pouring down right now. In Philadelphia, Calvin Johnson, our Visa player of the first half, is not the catch. How about that face mask? We love that. Second half of your game after this.